how did you discover about natural farming, and what's your journey to here?
So I discovered natural farming because when I was, I've been traveling a lot in my life, let's say. And when I was in Australia, I've been working for Monsanto, which is a multinational that's responsible for many crimes against our planet. And the way they are farming is really, really, really awful. And I didn't know it at the time. And I needed a job, so I went to work in that farm, and it was a banana farm. And my job was all day to put plastic around the bananas, to spray chemicals, and to drive a tractor around the farm to do those operations.
So you was harvesting bananas with a machine?
Not harvesting, doing treatments.
Okay.
And all my job was in order to keep the bananas yellow without black spots or brown spots. So I said, how is it possible that, and we were using chemical bottles with the skull and the bone with the cross.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah. So very, very, very bad substances, both for humans and for all the other living beings.
Yeah, of course.
And I was in shock. I was like, how is it possible that we're doing all of these things just because in the supermarket people want to have a yellow banana? But the good part is there were a lot of frogs, green tree frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this big and many kinds. And I was taking them, put them in my hands, in my shoulder.
They were like mutant frogs? Or
No,
not?
no.
Okay.
They could survive the chemicals, probably. It wasn't bothering them.
Okay, so that shocked you.
Yeah. And that's how I started to look, there must be a different way to produce food. How come we're doing such a mess? And that's how I discovered first permaculture. Permaculture is like a big hat under which there's many, many different practices. And eventually I came across natural farming. I recommend you to read some permaculture books.
Okay.
The philosophical aspect is very important.
Okay.
And as I said, permaculture itself is just a designing approach.
Okay.
So is how do you think to plan things to be sure that the earth, all the living beings that are part of the earth, the future of the earth,
Okay.
are all taken care of. It tries to put as much life, animals, insects, plants, trees, as many different lives as possible. Because the biggest teacher is always the forest. You go in the forest, you look how the forest behaves, how can it create so much abundance, and all life is thriving there without humans having to do anything. So that is the best school. And you try to do the same in your piece of land.
Can we put natural farming and permaculture in the same case?
We can put natural farming under the umbrella of permaculture. That we can do, but there are major differences between permaculture and natural farming. It can be a way of applying permaculture, but if you do permaculture and you want to be a natural farmer, probably you're not a natural farmer. You're a permaculture that is using some natural farming techniques. We can put it in the same umbrella.
Yeah.
If you want to do big categories, they can be in the same umbrella. Permaculture, we agree, is also philosophical, like natural farming, and that's why we're putting them together.
Okay.
And is also ethical.
Okay.
And biological and conventional, traditional, modern is not. Then there's a third category, which is regenerative farming, which doesn't have anything to deal with philosophy, but is just a clever ecological approach to farm in a way that preserves the life of the soil and the fertility of the soil. It doesn't have to be good for society, it doesn't have to be good for the human soul, it doesn't have to be good for your emotional and spiritual well-being, but it's done in a way that I'm thinking about all the needs of the ecosystem where I'm working to produce food and to the future of that piece of land.
So concretely, what's the difference? Because in regenerative agriculture, I think that you don't apply chemical products.
You would apply some chemical products, you could, yes,
Okay.
that are organically sourced, maybe that you, not chemical products, but you could produce naturally with the ingredients you have in your own land, and that is done. I have a friend which is also a permaculture teacher who works in such a company that is going around the world to teach farmers how can they produce their own fertilizer, herbicides, pesticides that are not harmful for the environment or for other animals or humans even. So it's different in the way that I'm taking care of my own business and of my own production and my own piece of land, but it stops there. Where permaculture and natural farming, let's say, is done in a way that is also needs to be beneficial for the evolution of my spirit, of my soul, of my emotional well-being, of the community where I'm living in.
Yeah, but it's also the way to farm. Of course, it's that, but it's... I would like to, let's say, focus on the way to farm.
The technique itself.
Yeah, okay. Of course, there is philosophy,
Mm-hmm.
but we are talking about farming.
Okay, in this case, you can put permaculture and natural farming in the same umbrella and regenerative farming in the same umbrella of permaculture as well. Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It is the same way to farm.
No, because then we go back to there's a lot of ways to farm. Because there's syntropic farming, there's synergic farming, there's food forests, there is natural farming, there is hydroponic farming, there's... The techniques are many.
Okay, maybe we can think about eating. The quality of what we will eat. Do you think that a product from permaculture or natural farming have the same quality?
Honestly, no. Because food, plants, life, water is very much influenced not just by the way you grow things, but by how you do it. So if you are eating a product from natural farming where nature is in charge, is a different energy that ends up in the food that you're eating from planning everything perfectly according to your own will and deciding what goes where and how. So the quality of the food that you're eating is also different. But if you want to talk about how healthy it is or how not healthy it is, they both are very healthy. Also, though, it's true that the more biodiversity there is in the soil, the more microorganisms, and that's very true especially for the minerals and the vitamins, the more rich are going to be in those elements. So, for sure a natural farming product is more nutritious than a regenerative farming product.
Or permaculture?
Or permaculture, depending on the kinds, but yes.
So I think we can put natural farming in the top of the scale.
Yes, this is as close as picking wild fruits can get. Going in the forest or going in the hills and finds just wild edible plants, picking them and eating them, the closest thing to that will be natural farming. And this for sure is the thing that will have the most nutritious and genuine food. So modern agriculture as we said, is just business. Is a job that you could do that is no different from a factory that produces toothpaste or toothbrushes. It's the same. They don't care about the quality of their product. As long as they can sell it and make money out of it, it's good. Not only that, but they don't care about the future of the land they're using. They don't care about the different species of animals and plants that are living in that land. They don't care about the impact on the climate that their actions and the way they're farming are made. And there is an impact, and it's very, very bad.